Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm going to entitle this video Reading Between the Lines Part 3, January the 4th. And I guess I'm going to end up doing a series of these because basically what I'm doing is asking the seller a simple question. How's the action on the guitar? Because that's the first thing that I ask now, because it doesn't make a difference whose name's up there. Doesn't make a difference where the wood came from. Doesn't make a difference, that everybody wants this guitar. If it doesn't feel good to play, it's pointless. I'm a professional musician. I play 8 to 9, 10 hours a day. So I need something comfortable. I can't play high-ass action guitars, And I polled you guys, and 99.9% of you guys said, yeah, I want man slow. Why would I want it high? I only had one guy that said that he likes it high, and he explained it to me. It made a lot of sense. He played a lot of lap steel guitars, little country western guitar things. So, and the action on those things are pretty high in order to play them. So he said, I'm used to playing that. So I kind of want my action high because I'm used to playing that. That makes totally perfectly good sense. It makes sense, But anybody that wants this so high that you got to press down and it hurts, and once you finish pressing up, you see all these guitar string lines on your hand and it hurts. Nobody want to go through that, And a lot of people first start off playing guitar with those kind of guitars because, usually your mama, your daddy bought your first guitar. They don't know nothing about guitars. My mama bought my first guitar. She knew nothing about a guitar, and the action was awful, And the second one was a little better, and then the third one I bought myself, So I'm like, yeah, this is where I want it to be. So I've asked people this simple question, how's the action? And I'm going to read you these verbatim, as far as their answer, they're being real evasive, or, well, I'm just going to read it and let you decide, or, let you come to your own conclusion. And again, the name of the video is called Reading Between the Lines. So I'm looking at this guitar, and here's my entry or my inquiry. Nice looking guitar. How's the action? I love low action guitars. Interested. Thank you. His response was, good morning. To tell you the truth, I'm not really sure. I will measure for you. Here's the kicker. But it's been already packed up and ready to go. In my last video, I mentioned that to you guys, that I inquired about a guitar, and the guy said, well, I can't answer that question because it's already packed up and ready to go. Why are you packing up your guitar before you've even sold it? That makes no sense. Because for this exact reason, you don't want to do that. Somebody might have a question, and you might need to look at that guitar, physically look at it to answer the question. So why would you bag it up, pack it up before you've sold it? This makes no sense at all. This is just ridiculous. So, okay, Marie, so I would measure it, but it's been already packed up. Now, my question is, why didn't you already measure before you packed it up? Wouldn't that make sense? And here's another line. I had my guitars and my band adjust the neck and set all that stuff up. So what are you? If you got another guy that plays guitar to do this, what are you? Are you the keyboard player? Are you the singer? And if you are, why would you have a guitar that you can't play, or you're not playing, or you can play, So right there, there's some red flags thrown up. It's like you're selling something you know nothing about, don't know how to play it, don't know any dimensions, anything, or any questions, or answer any questions that a guitar player might have. Simple ones. This is a simple question. How's the action? Ain't nothing difficult about that question, So it says, it has been a great guitar, and it looks can you read this? It has been a great guitar, and well looked after. Okay. Again, he says it's been a great guitar. How would you know that? You can't even tell me how the action is, So these people are just, I think a lot of these people are just selling stuff that they got from somebody else, or a storage locker, or an estate. They know nothing about it. I've had a few people that were just straight out the gate honest. They say, I know nothing about these guitars or this guitar. I got it from here. I appreciate that. That's a lot of information for me and still love this. You know, if I would had even inquired about this, I wouldn't have not even known he's not a guitar player, you know, and still him just telling me this up front. Well, I'm not a guitar player, and, you know, I think this is the market value. I asked some people that play, and they said this is a market value. They just slap stuff up here and slap prices up here and don't know how to play this. So, of course, I'm not going to even inquire about this any further, because it's obvious this guy's not a guitar player. And he had somebody else set it up, and you think the other guy would have told him, well, you know, the action's pretty good and it feels good, so you can tell these people that might be interested in it that, you know. So I didn't even bother to respond after that, because I'm like, you know, okay, it is what it is, and what it is you're not a guitar player, you don't even know what you got. Okay, here's the next one. And this one happened today, because I seen this guitar last week, and what drew my attention to it was I had the same Jay Tercel guitar in the same color, and that particular guitar, and they do tend to vary from guitar to guitar, even if they're the same model. They don't sound or feel exactly the same as the other one, even though they're the same guitar. But the one that I had felt great, you know, and I parted with it because I wasn't playing it. And I said, you know, it'd be nice to kind of get that one back again if it's the same guitar and feel the same way as the other one. It had a certain kind of way to it, you know. So I'm looking at the price. I'm like, well, it's kind of priced half for something used, but if it feels like the one that I had, hey, I'll take it. So let me just say this first. So last week he had this guitar for sale, and right out the gate he wanted $149. I'm like, that's kind of high out the gate, you know, especially if it's an auction. So I looked at it, and then I noticed it was gone. You know, somebody bought it, apparently. So then I look up 2 days later, it's relisted again. And I responded, I said to him, I said, didn't this guitar sell last week? Because I'm kind of interested to figure out what happened here. You know, did somebody renege or something or whatever? And he never responded. So my next inquiry was, and I read it verbatim, how was the action? Question mark. Love low action. Interested. Thanks. Used to have the same model years ago. His response is this. Verbatim. Sorry, I'm not a guitar guy. I don't know how to answer your question. You know, but yet you want $149 for this, which is kind of high for a used one. You know, but I was willing to consider it. You know, these people, you know, they're not guitar players. They're just slapping up product up here on YouTube or eBay and expecting people to buy it. You know, years ago, before the internet really before the internet was even in existence, used to be a trade paper that I used to get in my area called Trading Time. 100% of those guys that were selling guitars, drums, keyboards, sound modules, they were musicians. They've played the instruments that they're selling, so they can answer any question you may have and give you a nice demo of it when you come over there to pick it up. Because I mean, this one guy didn't live too far from me. I bought a module from him, and he let me hear it, and he played Phil Collins' Just Another Day in Paradise. And he was a great piano player. I was like, man, sold, you know? Just on the demo of him playing sold me on this. Now you got people that can't even answer simple questions because they're not musicians and they don't know how to play the instruments that they're selling. I mean, just ridiculous, you know? And you do have to ask questions nowadays, because half of these people, again, they're not musicians. They're not guitar players or whatever. They just selling something that they got a handle on or got a hold to, and they just trying to make a little money. You know, ain't nothing wrong with making a little money, but at least be able to answer any questions that your prospective buyer might have. That's like going to somebody's house that have posted a listing to sell a car, and you ask them about the car. How does it run? What's the history? You know, has it had any these kind of issues? Or has the engine ever been replaced or repaired, or the transmission ever went out, or anything? Any noise, any smoke, any things of that nature? And they tell you this. I don't know. I've never driven it. I mean, would you buy that car now? Most likely not. But I'm going to sign off now. But I just thought this was just ridiculous. These are just simple questions.